Hello everyone, welcome to Connecting Minds. I am Sam Oluwapele. I want to use this medium to thank you all for subscription on our previous video and for your engagement of that video. Thank you very much. And this is another day and I'm here with a very beautiful episode today again. And this is still all about marriage. You know what I stand for on this very podcast. Sometimes I look at myself with the kind of understanding I have. Maybe I've lived a life before and I'm reincarnated. Because I have some understanding about family, about marriage, and about love itself. Today we'll be talking about something very crucial, which is things you need to think about yourself before you get married. Even while in marriage, things you need to check, things you need to study about yourself, things you need to grow when it comes to your own personal being. These are: number one, maturity, forgiveness, intentionality, and healing. These all things are basic things you need to make sure you check yourself on consistently. These are things you need to check yourself on consistently. You need to have them. You need to be intentional about all these four basic. Now let's start with maturity. Maturity. Yeah, we have a lot of people that talk about maturity. Maturity can be in different form in terms of even financial maturity, emotional maturity. But I was talking about this on a different angle. Yeah, I understand. It took me time to understand what maturity really is. Maturity is basically growth. Yes, you need that growing stage. That's maturity. I'm not talking about age here. That growing stage in knowledge, in wisdom, and understanding intellectually, that growing stage where you need to understand your environment, understand your community, understand yourself. That is maturity. But now when it comes to your partner, the first thing about maturity, you need to understand the being called a man. As a woman, you need to understand the being called a man. And as a man, you need to understand the being called a woman. That's the very first. You need to understand this creature, this personality. You need to understand them. Don't forget to understand yourself first. But at the same time, you need to understand that being called a man, you need to understand the being called a woman. When you understand this, you need to actually reflect on this. Who are you bringing into your life? You are a woman, you have your own personality trait. And a man, as is, you need to understand that being. In the same way, you need to now understand, when you now having a partner, when you understand a being called a man, you now need to understand your partner as a being. You need to understand your partner, understand that person. You need to have maturity in understanding that person. You need to take your time to understand who this person is. What are the personality traits of this person? What are the weakness and strength of this person? You need to be intentional to reflect on this without glitching this with your own personality. But this is a different. This is a mature person, an adult. You're coming in together. You need to understand this person, especially the weakness and the strength of this person, so you won't have conflict. So maturity in this light is understanding your partner, the weakness and the strength. When you have a very deep understanding about this, reflect on this. Because most of the time, I see when people come together, yeah, there are a lot of things you like about your partner, but hey, believe you me, there's always one thing you don't like. And when you change everybody, there's always one thing you won't like in everybody. And let me tell you one thing, sometimes weakness are unique. Weakness are unique. It's just that you don't accept them. Yeah, I know sometimes you want. I'm not talking about there are some characters when like drinking, smoke. No, those are not weakness I'm talking about. I'm talking about inborn trait, inborn personality that this person has grown with. Sometimes this inborn trait served as defense, as served as strength for this person. The person does not even see it as weakness. It looks like strength to the person. So how do you come in and tell this person like, I don't agree with this. You don't have to disagree and you don't have to agree, but you need to understand it. Take your time, understand that weakness. That is maturity we're talking about. You need to understand why people act in that manner. Let me tell you one story about I had a brother that the way he attends to things. That very day, we had an issue outside with some people outside, and he said, and I told him, please hold on, let's settle this amicably. Let's use my method, because he said, no, he does not settle things amicably. Anytime he tries to settle things amicably, it doesn't work for him. I think that is his own nature. He said it to me that day, and I said, okay, let's use my own method. Let's just handle this thing amicably. And do you know the funny part? That very day, it didn't go well because we used my method. It didn't go well, and he said, oh no, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. If we had used my method, I wouldn't be saying sorry, right? I'm saying sorry because we use your method. And I kept quiet. And the next time, how do you expect me to teach this person to use my method next time? So people take up some attitude because they feel it works for them. So before you can convince them on how to manage it, you need to first accept why they've chosen to be on that personality. First accept it, compliment it, understand it, love that person. That is maturity. Understand that this person is a woman, and a woman will act in this manner. Understand that this person is a man, and a man will. By the time you want this person to operate in your own way and manner, there's going to be conflict. Your acceptance, you need to accept it. That is why we say we complement each other. So the first thing you're going to do is, when you accept it, then you need to compliment that weakness. Before you can even effect a change on that person, you need to first accept it and compliment. When you compliment, then the person feels like, okay, this person understands me and can hand over that weakness. The person will be able to hand over, your partner can hand over that weakness to you, because it feels you understand me. You know, you can protect these that I'm giving to you. So weakness are not necessarily, it does not necessarily need to be bad. Sometimes what are these things you call weakness? This person might not even see it as a weakness because you are now together and it doesn't go well with you. It's not something you will do. That is why it looks like weakness, because this person has lived with this thing you called weakness over the years, and it has been basically profitable to that person. And one thing I want you to understand is, before some people pick up some trait, you don't even know why they picked up that trait or why they've not had issues with it. For instance, you have somebody that is basically outspoken or way expressive, is so open and free mind. This can be an issue to you because you are well reserved. There's always a good in that part kind of weakness, but sometimes you only want the person to know how to balance it, when to use it and when not to use it. For you to teach that person, you need to first step into it, compliment it, enjoy, accept it. When you accept it, enjoy it, compliment that person. This is not about stopping. You need to compliment that person. Accept this person with that weakness first. That is the maturity we're talking about. Unless you have to be told sorry over and over and over, and before you know, this becomes conflict in your house because you're not accepting. If your partner is slow, allow the partner to be slow. When he's ready, you need to join your partner in that slow pace. That is you accepting it. And you cannot teach the person how to be fast and how to be slow. You need to first compliment your partner in his or her own way. I would rather use weakness. Yes, as weakness, compliment. At that time, then you can be able to teach the person, I trust the person over time. But by the time you just call me like, oh, I don't like this, why won't you like? That is not your whole nature. And let me tell you something. You can never get anybody like you. That is just one thing, because you're the best of your kind. You are your own being. If you want somebody like you, the only thing you're going to do is to marry yourself. If you want somebody that will reflect you all the time, you need to marry yourself. Don't be deceived with all the thing you see on the media. Before you get somebody that will reflect you all the time, every time, that will think like you, that will act like you, then it should be you. By the time you're bringing somebody else to you, the person is coming in with his own vibe, his own spice. Then there's going to be some differences which you need to accept. Differences which you will need to accept. Accept those differences. First, if you have decided to settle down with this person, if you have decided to love this person, if you have decided, made your decision that you love this person above all, then you need to first understand that person and accept those things you don't like. Just accept, because you also have those things she doesn't like or he doesn't like. Accept, live, enjoy. Then you will need to see why this person exhibits trait, and the person can hand over that weakness to you, because you've also joined that person in the process of that weakness and that strength. Now we'll talk about the second thing I mentioned forgiveness. Forgiveness is something very key. For every marriage you've seen that has lasted for decades, a lot of forgiveness has split down. Even down to infidelity. A lot of forgiveness. Maybe successful infidelity or unsuccessful. A lot of forgiveness. If you've seen somebody that has stayed in the marriage for 50, 60, 70 years, I just want to believe that forgiveness split down. Why we have a lot of broken marriage today is because of people have already set standard for unforgiveness. The standard for unforgiveness already. When you do this, I'm not going to take this, I'm not going to take this, I'm not going to take this. There's a standard for unforgiveness in every person. Maybe this from some pains, previous pains or things you've seen on the media, but there's already a standard for unforgiveness. People set standard for forgiveness. I'm not going to take this from anybody. If you try this, say no, I'm gone. You need to be sure you are ready to forgive. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 10. Be intentional about forgiving. Be intentional about forgiving. Be ready to forgive. If you are not ready to forgive, forget it. If you've seen any marriage, check around, ask people. If you've seen any marriage that has lasted for 30, 40, 50 years, forgiveness has split up. Even down to infidelity. Even down to infidelity. In a world where polygamy is accepted, it's so funny how you see a man will cheat. I wouldn't want to go there initially, but I think a man will cheat, and definitely the woman needs to accept the apology. Maybe after even bringing another woman or a child, one needs to accept, but a woman won't try that. If a woman tries that, a man will be like, oh no, that's a man that has been going all around will now accept just a time cheating his wife. At the same time, we have women too that won't also think. But you need to understand that if you want longevity, I'm not endorsing cheating, but I'm just telling you that if you want longevity, be ready, be intentional about forgiveness. Because every marriage that will last long will be ready to forgive. Another one I mentioned is be intentional. If there's one thing you will need in that journey, even while you're married, you need to be intentional. That's just, you need to be intentional about peace. It is not negotiable. There's something I always see outside where you have maybe a law with somebody outside, a misunderstanding with somebody outside, and you feel your partner is the next person going, wait, that's a toxic trait. That is not a peaceful trait. Your partner should be the one to heal you. Your partner should be the one to take out. Your partner should be readily available to absorb all that has happened outside, not you pouring it on your own. That's a toxic trait. If you have that, you need to check it as a toxic trait. You need to be intentional about peace. Non-negotiable about peace. Peace or nothing else, just peace. Even against the external. You don't allow external. There's one thing I don't like doing. Oh, one thing I don't like doing at all is I don't like seeing someone take away my peace, and I come home and feel bad. why the person that took away my peace is having fun outside, I settle it immediately. I won't allow you have that capacity in my heart. I won't allow you have that so much capacity to affect my peace. If anyone has done something, I trash it out, I settle it immediately so that I can have peace. I won't allow you to take away my peace. So in your home, you won't allow anything, either family, your previous family, have any capacity in your home to take away the peace in your home. Your colleagues at work will not have any capacity over your home, and both of you will not have to take away each other's peace. Be intentional. Learn to dialogue. Learn to talk about, not fight. Be intentional about peace. When you have a partner that is intentional about peace, and this is not one-sided, when you have a partner you're intentional about peace, you understand you resolve cases amicably and easily. So please be intentional about peace. Healing. Okay, before I go to healing, also, you need to be intentional about what you see in your partner. What you see in your partner, you need to be intentional about it. That thing you see. When you look at your partner, what do you see? Do you see our weaknesses that pisses you off, or his weakness that pisses you off? Let me tell you one thing. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. If you keep seeing your partner as somebody you want to do away with, you will never find a peace in that person. Because in fact, you will be the problem of that person. You will be the problem because you're definitely not seeing any good. Now, let me tell you what you're going to reflect. Take your time to reflect. Every time you have to think about your partner, take your time to see the good in that person. Aside all hurts the person has done, take your time to see the good in your partner. When you want to think, when your partner has done something bad, when you want to sit down and reflect on whose time he or she bought you gift. He or she, this person, she was good to you. When he or she was good to you, when he or she was so loving and so good to you, and you're going to heal. It's a very simple logic. You're going to heal. But the moment you reflect, when you see that, the only thing you think about is the earth. There is no way that marriage or that courtship will collapse. What you see, you need to know, be intentional about what you're going to see in your partner. Be intentional about it. Guard your heart. Always what you're going to see in your partner, guard your heart always. And I talked about this tip, it's going to take me to healing. Healing. You need to heal. Yes. Most of the time, before people go into, even during courtship, there's people that hold grudges about their partner, things their partner had done when they were courting. Take that into the marriage. You didn't forgive. You need to heal. Some people hold grudges against their father or their mother and take those things into their marriage. You need to heal. Even some people absorb things from the society, what they see on the media, and take them into their marriage. You need to heal. You need to be pure in the heart. You need to heal for whatsoever pain. And you need to heal consistently. After every rift, after every disagreement, make sure you heal. You don't store them. You don't store them for every rift, every misunderstanding. Make sure you heal. Every time. Even while you're married, make sure you heal. You don't store them. It's going to make you not give the best. You know, earth clouds the mind. It clouds the mind. So when you have earth towards someone, you can't see the good in that person. Even when the person is trying to work it out, trying to work peace out, you can't see the good in that person. You can't see the best. Even when the person has given 1001 best. But the minute you focus your mind, I had a friend, Miraculous, if he's saying this, he taught me this logic about, he said, love is like a graph. He said, when you just nearly get married or when you just nearly met yourself, the love is always 100% and you have a little bit of earth or that comes out of weakness, like maybe 10%. He said, what you focus on is going to determine what will grow. If you focus on that earth or the weakness or that thing you want her to change on or him to change on, the love reduces. and the earth increases. That is why you see a lot of people in marriage today that are just cohabiting. A lot of people, and that those people you look at in their marriage today, a lot of them are just there. They are just spending lifetime together. Nothing sweet is existing anymore. Or maybe the love they share comes interval. You're ready to heal. You need to be intentional about your healing.
Previous relationships you've been to, some of you have seen a lot of shaggy pro max. You've seen a lot in some of these relationships, and this has built a lot of hurt and pain towards whoever is coming your way. You need to heal from all of these, because you need to come in purely, you need to come in new, you need to come in without holding anything against other gender. You need to heal. You need to heal. Perfect. And number 5 is learning and unlearning. Definitely if you're coming into a new relationship or a marriage, you need to have common ground, definitely. And for you to achieve that, you need to be ready to learn and unlearn so many things. Ready to learn and unlearn so many things. Most of us come with a lot of ideologies that were way personal. Like things that were you, this is me, this is who I am. No, no longer whom you are or whom you were. Now you're bringing in somebody new entirely with a different background, a different ideology. You need to be way flexible. You need to be way extremely flexible so that you can learn and unlearn so many things. You've seen the way your dad or mom, you've seen them as standard, or even from your cultural background, you had a lot of standard from your cultural background. You're going to unlearn so many things, and you're going to learn so many things for this to work. You're going to create your own. You need to create your own common ground. You need to create your own. You need to be flexible. Nothing like, I can never do this, I can. No. As far as it's not against morals and it's not against your creator, be flexible. Be flexible. Be ready to learn and unlearn. Pick new characters that is going to work for both of you. Have a common ground on these things that is going to work for both of you. Forget about these things you've seen from your parents that were standard to them. It worked for them. It works for them does not mean it's going to work for you. Understand that. If that worked for your parents doesn't mean, because this is a different body you're bringing in. Nothing like, oh, this is how my mom is going to behave, or this is how my dad is going to. You need to understand that this is a new body entirely. This is a new relationship, a new marriage entirely. You need to pick your own. Be flexible and have a common ground. So with this, I think you should be able to have a very smooth relationship with your partner.
The first thing, I think, to cover this up, marry right in the first place. When you marry right, then all of this principle will work. Marry right in the first place. Marry somebody that is disciplined, that is intentional about the love and peace in your home. When you get this right, especially the intentionality aspect, when you have somebody that is so intentional that does not, that is either peace or nothing, then you can now apply maturity. You can now apply your healing process all the time. Make sure, and please, this is not one-sided. As you're checking this about yourself, you need to make sure your partner also have this, because one good cannot build a home. It needs to be two good coming together. You need to make sure that your partner also have this understanding about forgiveness. It's just going to happen. The change is something that takes time. You don't just come in and you want to change somebody. You're not going to change anybody. Change yourself first by going through all of this. Work on yourself. Let your partner work on yourself. You need to attain that level of maturity. To accept the being called a man, the being called a woman. Accepting whom you're coming with. You need to accept it. Oh, your partner is free mind. You need to accept that, okay, this person is free mind. Accept it first. Don't look at the person and look at what you're going to change in that person. I'm not talking about all other sinful acts or immoral acts. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about personality trait here. You need to first accept it, enjoy. So thank you very much. This is all I have for you today on this very show. And please do ensure to subscribe, like, and share this video. And also your comments. What are other things you think And you can also send a personal DM to me on Instagram at Sam Oluwapele if you have anything you want to share at Sam Oluwapele, or on Facebook. And don't forget to share this video and watch it with somebody, or send this video to somebody you love that is going through some challenges in his or own marriage. I so much love the institution of marriage, and I so much love the creation of love itself. So it's something I so much focus on. So please ensure you work towards perfection in your home. You work towards marriage in your home, because I don't see why you should pause if you can watch all of this. Please and please, I am Sam Oluwapele, and welcome to Connecting Minds. Thank you very much.